Welcome to miniCAD 7, and today's topic is on localization, which is a new feature in miniCAD 7. What you can see in front of you here is a job which I will be doing a localization on. Over here is my field data, and to the left is my survey plan information. I'm going to just leave this job for a little because I want to show you something else. I've actually created what's called a template file. I don't think too many people use these, but as you can see, there's nothing in this job. I've called it template.mcd, and but template actually does have something. I've created already certain layers that you can see here, including this one, which I want to come across and show you GNSS mean. But I've also created a point selection. It's another area that I don't think too many people use, and point selections are really important. And in this case, because I want to do something to the survey plan, I've created I automatically create a point selection in this template, which I use all the time, called plan. And I don't have any points in the range. I have points all layers selected. So any information in one of these three layers, and you can either have points only or points, lines and arcs, or you can take the inverts, but I only need to move the points, so that's it. I use that. And then to actually use the point selection, if you go into Tools Options, you'll see here under Preferences that I've got Use a Template File ticked, and if I have a look at the template file I've selected, you'll see down the bottom here it's template.mcd. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that so people can make use of it. So now let's go back to our localization, which is here. I won't save the changes. And the first thing I want to show you, which is using the localization, is that when I opened this job, first started the job, whether you bring in points or you just start a new job, miniCAD will always bring in that template file. So if we have a look at the layers, you probably can't see, but see this GNS mean layer is automatically created, plus all the other layers that were in that other file. But the other thing is the point selection is also here, the plan that I created, although now it's showing numbers, but that's beside the point, and it's showing points and layers. So, but it would have originally been the points or layers. It doesn't actually change it. So maybe it's not the best thing. I've actually changed that without realizing. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I'll go back. If I actually show you what the point selection is, I've got points only. If I hit View, for day one, that's my day one field work, and you can again use that point selection. But I actually want to select the plan and hit View, and you can see it's selecting all the points in my survey plan. So the red bits are my reference marks, red points, and the blue the lot boundaries or street boundaries. So I'll cancel out of that, take the selection off, and now the other thing I wanted to show you is if I remove this mean point, 161, I need to remember that because I need to put it back in as that, and I change the layer because this is my GPS data, and I've actually taken a number of readings here. If I put a circle around that, you'll see I had three GPS readings on that point. And over here is a mean that I can create. And so it's created that 160.161 back again in that layer. And it's also given you the maximum horizontal was 6 mil. The vertical is not quite as good as GPS sometimes does to you. But you can also click there, and this is a messaging box, and it's good for keeping a track of times. It keeps dates and times of when you open the job. When you'll see here, this is when I opened it or job saved. Here's the opening here, and it's at 3:08 p.m. So this can be quite useful if you're trying to track time for clients or see results. And the other way to get that mean is you can go change statistics and you've got mean. You've also got linear regressions and curve regressions, but I'm getting off the topic here, so I won't show you too much more. So to do a localization, you go change localization, and you select a layer you want to move. In this case, I've got my GPS data here. Now that's been brought in. I happen to be very lucky in the area that I work, and especially this job, because the combined scale factor for this job is 1.50 and a 1. But normally, if you were going to put this GPS job, seeing miniCAD's a plane system, a flat earth, you'd normally do a change scale, and it's pretty easy to work out. Unfortunately, you've got to use the inverse. So I said it was 1.501. So that you need to type 0.12345 and then you've got to work out 1 off 10 is 9. So it's actually 6 nines. So it's pretty simple, and you need to work out a point of your GPS about which you need to do it. And then, of course, you need to select your GPS data. I've got a Polaris S100 not an S10, and so you select the Polaris as you and whichever point you want to do. So I might select an SSM, which is actually this point over here. I'm not going to do it, as I said. So again, that was just an aside. Now, in my case, because this data is, I'm lucky, and it's actually true GPS coordinates because of the combined scale factor, I actually want to move my plan information on to my global survey data. So in my case, but not necessarily yours, my local data is going to be my GPS data, local points, and my global points are going to be my plan, because what the localization does is it moves your global points over on top of your local points. So I want to move, I know this point here, 161, is the same as this reference mark here, a drill hole and wing. So I select them both. Now, this is a plan, it has no height information, so I only want to use it for horizontal. So you do that, and then you just hit add point to selection, and it's done it. Now, it's not giving us any results because we need to get a few more points. And I'm going to cheat here, because down the bottom you can see I've got load and save, and I've already saved this selection point I want to work with before. So I'm now going to load in the entire point selection. So this is now matching every point in my GPS that has a corresponding point in my plan, survey plan. There are a couple of extra points I'm using for height, as you can see down here, used vertically, and they are, there's an SSM there which has a height on it, and there is an SSM here. This SSM is not in our survey coordinate database, state coordinate database, so but it was on the survey plan. And this point here is not on the survey plan, but it has a height coordinate only in our database. So I've actually taken a height on that, and then I'm adjusting it by the what my GPS is giving me. So anyway, if we come back to the localization, you can now see that my results are not very good. And the worst result horizontally is this point here. So if I turn this point off, being the worst point in the thing, and then I hit update results, you can see this point's now skipped. My results are better, they're still not brilliant. So there are a few problems probably with this DP. And interestingly, the worst point is the SSM. So I'll turn that one off vertically as well, and hit update result. And now you can see my worst point is this first one, 161, 137, which is this point out here. Now I don't want to throw that one away, because just about all the other points are in here. There's a whole heap of points I found, like reference marks. The SSM didn't work out very well. The other point that didn't work out very well, that was the 0.9, was actually this drill hole and wing here. I didn't find this mark, it's gone. And I found a drill hole in concrete, but it didn't turn out to be that mark there either. So I haven't got those ones matched. So I'm going to not throw away this mark here, and I'm now going to do the store with the plan selected. So you can see it'll now move this plan, pick it up, and it's moved it over my points. And I haven't told you, but it was actually this mark here that I think had one of the lowest points. So one of the lowest residuals. So if you want to move the plan actually right over that mark there, if we have a look here, I think it's only about 9 millimeters it's missing by. No, 31. I'll make a liar out of me. So it might be one of these, or I can actually. So it's RM to GNSS mean. Yeah, there it is. That's 9 mil. So that was the closest mark, I think. I can check it out again though by going change localization, and then load and update result. Oh, of course the load's taken. I didn't save the other job, so I need to turn off that one and that one. I need update results. Now I can actually, because I don't want to change the loading for the demo, there is another way. You can actually select up here, select the whole thing, then right click, and you can go to file, and I can give it a special name. So I can say special name and save it. And now if we have to load that in, I'll just hit clear so it clears it. If we have to load it in, you can go from file, and I can select the special name, and now you can see that we've got the results that we were showing before. So the other thing I didn't show you is these are the parameters that are going to be shifted, and I've got Unity scale selected because I don't want to change my plan scale. So we're shifting in height only by 4 mil. We're applying a Unity scale. If I take this off, you'll see the scale changes and my results all change as well. They're actually a little bit better. But if I go back, so you can see actually the 5 mils, this point here is the best point, 158 and 143. So if I just do a view scale, and this is a 2 times scale, and I go 153, was 143, sorry. Okay, so it's that point there that was actually the closest point, the 5 millimeters, and I can prove that because I just go reference mark to GNSS mean, and it's 5 millimeters. So I want to move point 158 to point 143, all the plan, because you might want to have 2 points coincident. So you just select data move, select your plan again, and then select the reference mark which is on my plan, and I'm moving that to where my GPS is. It's changing the height, which I don't want to do, so I'll take that off and hit that, and now if I do query point, you'll see it's 0. And if we go and have a look at our message thing, you'll see that all those queries I've done are all turning up in here. There's the GNSS mean point I did, and all the other queries I've done. Just to quickly show you, you actually have to turn most of the queries on. So for instance, if you do query offset, you actually have to set log results. But that's it. Oh, and I didn't show you undo redo, so you're probably familiar with the undo. That's the first one moved it, that shift, and the second one put it back. So I'm now back to where I started with my job, and that's the end of my demonstration. Thank you very much for listening.